Good afternoon and happy new year. That's right, a new year has sprung upon us, and it's time for my first video of 2020. Like I say, I'm like, it's the new year. I've been very busy over Christmas. I wanted to get this review up as soon as possible, but of course, such as like law of these massive films coming up around about the Christmas time, actually getting to review said film does take up a lot of time. So in the spare window I have been given, I thought now is a good time to discuss this film. And I say this film, so yes, here we are. I am going to talk about Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. Yeah, I did say that I would post it as soon as possible, and of course the as soon as possible is right here for it. So without further ado, my verdict: I absolutely loved it. I know I am in the small minority that has shed any positive light on this film, but that's cool, because like I say, you know, if we all liked and thought the same things, then why'd I be doing this? You know, some people like some things, some people don't, and that's okay. But what isn't okay is when one has a opinion and all you get in response is toxic negative comments. I'm lucky that I am yet to respond to that. Sorry, I'm lucky that I'm yet to receive any of that. Well, not maybe until now. Like I said, this much like the Last Jedi, this is a very diverse film in terms of opinion. But yeah, I gotta say, I loved it, and I think it just ties everything up about the Skywalker saga perfectly. Don't get me wrong, there are some flaws. You know, what film isn't flawless? By the way, even the which might sound a bit contradictory, even the most perfect of films are slightly flawed. But then again, you know, it is like what it is. So let's get straight to it. Why did I love it so much? Well, first and foremost, unashamedly and unbiasedly, I'm a massive Star Wars fan, as anybody like who knows me. I came into this without any expectations other than hoping to enjoy it, and that's exactly what I got. I think one of the things that I love so much about the Rise of Skywalker was the fact that it was a big long tribute, sort of, you know, loads of callbacks to like the previous 8 of episodes, like through characters, locations, and that. Oh, sorry, yes, I've just realised, although like, I will be putting it in the description, there are spoilers amongst this. Luckily, like I haven't said like everything is spoilerific yet, but there will, like, so from this point on, if I had like the money graphics, it would be saying spoiler alert like right here, but this is like the warning lock of anyway. So from this point on, I will be giving out spoilers, so you have been warned. So yeah, so not so much like a spoiler as such, you know, like we saw it in the trailer, but Emperor Palpatine is back. Everyone saw him die at the end of episode 6, like Return of the Jedi, and of course, like the legendary actor like Ian McDiarmid has been itching like to get back into this kind of role like for quite some time. So he's going to be entirely grateful like to Disney and J.J. Abrams like for letting him do so. Ian McDiarmid, he still hasn't like missed a beat, like, has he? He is like the Emperor. The cast, you know, let's be honest, you don't have to be Shakespeare or a thespian to act in this series, but the actors who have graced the last 42 years like for this saga, reads like a who's who of legends, you know, Liam Neeson, Samuel L. Jackson, Carrie Fisher, Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford, Ewan McGregor, James L. Jones, Billy D. Williams. You know, like there's gotta be others. Off the top of my head, there's that. But the fact that sort of each one of the actors I've listed play legendary characters, and through callbacks, voiceovers, cameos, they've all come to a part of this latest trilogy of Star Wars, and they've all had like their little moments like to shine, and I think that is incredible. Speaking of the actors and actresses, Carrie Fisher, you know, like to see her in this, I think was brilliant, and sort of the easier route would have been for J.J. Abrams, like the director, like to use like the mocap, de-aging technology, which seems to be in a lot of frequent blockbuster films like these days. But the fact that he used the deleted footage from The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi to be put in to The Rise of Skywalker for her scenes, I think is a touch of genius, absolutely. And the scene where Carrie Fisher, Princess Leia, passes, that means a lot more, I think, in the fact that obviously like she died in between you know, like the releasing of like the Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, and the fact that like she's no longer with us, that scene means a lot more, like has to be said. Special mentions have to go to Daisy Ridley and Adam Driver, as well as John Boyega and Oscar Isaac, who have been brilliant in this trilogy. Mainly it has been about Adam Driver and Daisy Ridley's characters of Kylo Ren and Rey, who is now a Rey Skywalker. Big surprise there. They're coming together. Their acting in this trilogy has been nothing but short of sublime. I mean, like Adam Driver is a brilliant actor, full stop. I actually think, no word of a lie, I think that Adam Driver's character of Kylo Ren is actually the most driven, no pun intended, like the most driven character throughout the whole saga. So complex in terms of, you know, like his background, his basically like his wanting to be good, but constantly being pulled towards like the dark side. His acting in this is nothing short of sublime, and what I think is great in the 4 to 5 years of this trilogy has come to grow. He has grown as an actor himself. You know, like a couple of Oscar nominated roles. And even more so, Adam Driver is just a complete brilliant actor. Daisy Ridley, like her stock has grown from this, and like because of the Star Wars trilogy, like she's gone on like to had other offers, and she's done brilliantly in that. Oscar Isaac, like I say, John Boyega, characters that have risen throughout this, and what I think I love, sort of, you've had like the new characters mixing like the old characters, and like for instance, throughout this trilogy we've had callbacks to characters of the last like the original like trilogy, you know, like which was centered between Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford and Carrie Fisher. Each one of these characters that them three actors have played have been able like to beat off of each other. Gosh, what a crazy analogy to say. To bounce off rather than to beat off. we don't want to see like of any scenes of like of that. I'm sure. Well, I'm sure like some Star Wars fans will like us in there. So let's say bouncing off like one another. So you know, like in the Force Awakens, you had Harrison Ford. Scenes like with Adam Driver, John Boyega and Daisy Ridley's that The Last Jedi, a big chunk of that was Mark Hamill and Daisy Ridley. They worked well on that, and of course, episode 9. Finally, the great Billy D. Williams is back as Lando Calrissian. As soon as that was announced, I sort of thought, well, the stratosphere, like, for episode 9 is straight up there, straight off the fact that Billy D. Williams is back as Lando Calrissian. What more can I say for that? You know, the scenes as well for that. Oh, and I gotta say as well, Chewbacca, of course, the great Peter Mayhew was Chewbacca in The Force Awakens. Unfortunately, being replaced by, well, I say unfortunately being replaced by Juma Samato. Missing Peter Mayhew is sad. But Chewbacca still the character of brilliance. You know, he is still there. Oh, and of course, how can we forget Anthony Daniels as C-3PO? I mean, in this, I actually think this is the most that C-3PO has actually acted in terms of having a big role in these films. Anthony Daniels as C-3PO. Well, he's literally gone through it all. Like, there's one character that has survived all the way from the Phantom Menace up to the Rise of Skywalker, and that's Anthony Daniels as a C-3PO. So take a bow for that one. You know, that's what I love about these films, is they're such interesting characters. And like I say, it doesn't have to be Shakespeare, it doesn't have to be thespianism. The fact that we've got some great characters in these films, you know, they're not gonna be for everyone, and that's fine. You know, we have our stuff. You know, Lord of the Rings fans have their films. The Harry Potter fans have their films. The James Bond fans have their films. Luckily, I like all of those films that I just mentioned, so I'm happy with that. But of course, you know, I can totally get sort of you know, a Harry Potter fan saying, oh, it's good, you know, but it's no Harry Potter, or a Lord of the Rings fan sort of saying, you called out an epic saga, Lord of the Rings is the most epic saga of all, ha. You know, and I totally appreciate that, because once again, like I say, opinion is a fantastic thing. We all have it. Why not embrace it? So yeah, I can't praise this of anymore. I will admit, The Rise of Skywalker does retcon a lot of stuff from the last Jedi. However, I'm not gonna worry too much about that. You know, it is what it is, and I do think as though that sort of it was gonna be, because of such a negative response of The Last Jedi. A lot of things would slightly be ignored coming up to the Rise of Skywalker. But I'm happy to say that although this is the end of the Skywalker saga, this isn't the end of Star Wars. Star Wars will continue, a brand new trilogy, which will start in 2022, so only 2 years time from now. More or less probably going to be 3, because it's December 2020 rather than January 2020, but I'm sure that will come in no time at all. What can I say more about Star Wars other than it's a saga that has entertained me for years, and I'd like to give a special mention to my uncle Neil Adams for introducing me to Star Wars. I have to give a big thanks to him, because well, without you introducing me to the wonderful lore that is Star Wars, I would not be here today preaching to the skies about it. So I want to say thank you for quite possibly, I gotta say it, introducing me to personally the best. I wouldn't say not only the best sci-fi story of all time, quite possibly the best cinematic saga of all time. There, I've said it. You know, I gotta be honest. I love my James Bond. I love my Indiana Jones. Love my Rockies, Harry Potter's, Lord of the Rings, Marvel's, DC's, and all that. I love them all to bits. But when it comes like to Star Wars, in terms of the actual saga itself, there's flaws, just like flaws like there is. But I've got to be honest, to me, it is the best cinematic saga of all time. So hands up. Take me away, like, because I'm guilty of loving Star Wars. So there you go. So in conclusion, Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. Yes, I love it so much. If there was to be a 6 out of 5, it would get it. Like, but for the purposes, like my ratings only go up to 5, so 5 out of 5, 100%. So on to the spoilers, like, just before I go. So Palpatine, like, Palpatine's plan has been for the last 30 years hiding in the shadows to basically say, you know, I want to restart like the Empire, bring everyone down, and this has been like my secret plan like for ages, to basically my granddaughter, which happens to be Rey. That the reveal of Rey as Palpatine's granddaughter, I could see coming, quite frankly. Although, like, let's still like be shocked. Oh no, about it, because it was something like that could have been like a big reveal. But I could sort of see it coming. I think one of like the biggest shocks of the whole film, like, I thought was great, like, was Rey, like, with the Force lightning, and of course, like, everyone knows that like the only Siths carry like Force lightning. Of course, like, she's a Jedi as well, like, but like she's half Jedi, half Sith. But what I think is really important is that throughout the whole saga, you know, through like planning, foreshadowing and that, I don't think when we started the Phantom Menace all the way to the Rise of Skywalker, it was going to end between the Emperor and Rey, basically Palpatine, who is the Sith, and Rey, who is the Jedi, you know, sort of. So basically the two axes of good and evil, and that's another thing that, like, I love about the whole Star Wars saga is basically good versus evil. You know, like, before Star Wars there was always good versus evil films, like, you know, and since then there's been that. But of course, I think the whole basis of anything cinematic has always been based on good versus evil. You know, it's been in the Bible, it's been on screen, it is what it is. So, like, the final confrontation between Palpatine and Rey, you basically got every axis of evil in the Sith on one person, Palpatine. Everything that's good about the universe into Rey, even though, like, she is part Sith as well. The fact that we've sort of say, like, the good will outweigh the bad. You hear the voice of every single Jedi that has graced the whole cinematic saga, basically urging her to say, come on, defeat the Sith once and for all. Let's end this war once and for all. Let's bring the balance to the galaxy, like, because they always said, you know, and I think the biggest sort of thing as well is great, is that we was all led to believe at the end of Return of the Jedi that Darth Vader was sort of the chosen one to bring the balance to the end of the Force, not so Force, and for a short period of time it was. Like, but the fact that they've, like, engineered it to be the fact, like, that Rey is the chosen one to sort of bring it all together to defeat the Empire, the Emperor, and that. The fact that they did that, I thought was really good, and I can get it. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, is that the big revelation? Oh, wow, woo! But the fact that they went with that, yeah, I loved it. And of course, I'm gonna put my hands up again. I'm not afraid to say, look, or admit that at the end of this film, I had dry eyes because I bloody well didn't. I did not have like dry eyes. I did tear up, but hey, that's the power of cinema, baby. It's what it is. And I think the last shot of this film, and which will now be ultimately the last shot of the whole saga, you was expecting it to be C-3PO. I was expecting it to be C-3PO, like, considering that C-3PO like had the last line at the end of Revenge of the Sith. The fact that C-3PO had the last line at Return of the Jedi. He don't get the last line of like the Rise of Skywalker though, but hey ho. The defining image at the end of this, which I think is the defining image of the whole Star Wars saga, the 2 moons on the sunset. Seeing them 2 moons, that was literally, that was like, to me it was like perfect. You couldn't have ended it better if you even tried. So the fact that the way it ended is just sublimely brilliant. So yeah, enough gushing. Get thee to a cinema to watch it if you haven't done so already. And I think like it's good, like the cinemas are still keeping it in despite the Christmas period like being over, and of course with everyone being so busy over the Christmas period, now would be the perfect time to, like I say, get thee to a cinema to watch Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker. I thoroughly recommend it. 5 stars out of 5, so there you go. Please watch. Anybody wants to like to comment, please do so below. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. A happy new year to all, and I hope like to get a few more vlog videos out like throughout the year. I've been doing this just under like to over a year now, so I just want to say thank you for everyone like who does watch a lot of my videos, who has subscribed like to my channel. I wish like I have more. Hopefully like I will have more. Who knows what the future brings, but fingers crossed I will have more subscribers and more likes and views throughout the year. So yep, I'll just say it again like before I go, please comment below, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. A happy new year to you all, and I hope like to see you all soon. And as always, may the force be with you.